Season 4.
Killing machine this bomber clock from one bomber clock column.
Yeah. I get that feeling in my stomach like I'm feeling for a come up, like a pregnant woman eating for her unborn son or daughter. Serial killer with a splash of cold milk. These men are built by weight, lactic acid, home skills. For the massive more meals, for the gastric hole still. Listen, we may clash but the titans don't chill. This is food for four, food for you all. We ain't the news, just a crew with the tools for the sport. Fast food.
You are now listening to the Fast Food Podcast.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2 1 2. This is a Fast Food Podcast. I go by the name of Morgan Heights. In the building, I got, you know, the one and only Trim Trimmer who's got the keys to my bimmer.
You.
I got the man named Carl Drizzy Sakafet Freckles in the building.
Not to stereotype, but if I was Mexican, I go.
Wagwan, my G. Joe, the cameraman is in the building right now. Wagwan, my G.
Yeah, I'm here.
Good to see you, my brother. Just so before we start, I want all you lot to know that this is a fortnightly podcast bringing you food for thought, soul food for the mind, and a feast for the palate. Before we start, audio episodes are available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Soundcloud. And all visual episodes will be available 2 to 3 days after the audio is out on our YouTube channel, plus clips for the show. Be sure to subscribe to our to the Fast Food TV YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, comment, show love.
Hit the notification bell so you get notified when we drop new content on there.
Exactly.
And follow us on Twitter at Fast Food Podcast.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Welcome, people. Welcome. How is everybody feeling today?
The sun is shining.
Exactly.
And the weather is sweet again.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day today.
Right.
We're recording early on
Tuesday.
and yeah, I had a good weekend. And for the first time, my weekend felt like a normal weekend.
Right.
In terms of shopping, taking my son out, going for a drive, getting food, doing like the daily, that you know, after a full working week and the weekend comes and you just kind of just get back in touch with your family. And yeah, I enjoyed the weekend. It was fun. You know, and yeah, it felt normal, which hasn't felt normal for a long time. It hasn't felt like, you know, people walking around and just shopping and kids running and traffic and all that kind of stuff. I was happy about that, and I'm praying that we get some sort of summer, because there's a conspiracy theories rolling around that by September that we'll have a lockdown again. But I don't know how real that is. Or
Why as human beings do we think so far ahead?
Yeah,
Why can't we just enjoy it now? We've been in lockdown for so long.
absolutely.
They've let us out of our cages. Let's just enjoy
Absolutely.
right now.
Yeah,
Let's worry about that. Hopefully, touch wood, that's not the case. But we'll deal with that when that time comes. But right now, shout out to the ladies that are out there modeling the maxi dresses. Can't speak for everyone else in the room, but for me personally, that's, oh my God.
Yeah.
Looking fabulous.
It's I saw because obviously the bars are open, but you can't
noticed
drink
that.
inside.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing some vibes. I'm seeing people outside having a beer, having a glass of wine. I've seen people's Instagrams of them out having drinks, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy that the UK are, you know, people are finding themselves getting out. What I don't want people to do is
Morgan Heights.
digress. I want people to get outside,
Yeah.
enjoy the weather,
Yeah.
meet up with your friends, meet up with your family,
Meet up with your friends. That's
and
important.
make the most of life now. Forget about what's happened, as Drizzy said. Get on with it now. So yeah, that's the long and short of that. How's everybody feeling?
Feeling good. It's been a very eventful week.
Yeah.
Or should I say was?
Yeah.
Like I do normally, I go back to the future. But I got to view the final cut of the Boogie's Ballad video.
How was that looking? Incredible.
Yeah, he killed it. Yeah. All parties involved. Trebler, Tyler,
Shout out to Trebs.
Hazeline, Cairo. I forgot the gentleman's name that actually owns the venue.
Yeah.
But even him helping out with the coffees and being mad hospitable.
Okay.
It was really nice, the whole experience. So yeah, super dope to actually see the finished article.
Okay.
And then also seeing the logos for the Massive Action.
I saw that.
Yeah, so that was dope. Also, as you
What
know,
is Massive Action?
Massive Action is my management company.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've been dreaming about doing this for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily for me, now I'm in a place where I can actually afford to, like fund that and facilitate everything else.
Get that off the ground.
Yeah, it's weird that it's actually happening, because I don't know any of us. I don't know if I wanted to put it out there and ask if we've ever had dreams, like our biggest dream, one of our biggest ones, because that was always one for me.
Yeah.
Because obviously being around yourself and all of our friends that are involved in music, to now then have my stake within it. You get what I'm saying? For you, like Driz, have you ever had like a dream that you've always wanted to aspire to, that you're like, I'm there now, or is there anything that you've?
There's a couple. But one of them was DJing, because I always loved music, growing up to music and all that. So shout out to Wes. Shout out to Westwood. He's the one that gave me the push.
Sure, you want to shout?
He threw me into the deep end, and I'm not going to entertain you. And he threw me into the deep end, and I had to DJ in front of a uni crowd. Wow. That's my first time.
Right.
And it was literally the day before he showed me, right, this is how you put the vinyl on. That's how you put the needle on, you press play. And literally that's what it was.
Right.
And I took it upon myself to make a set out of the records I had. You know the days, those days, record companies used to send you the vinyls, copies, because they wanted to play.
Yeah.
So he normally get like 6 copies of the same vinyl.
Right.
And he had a ridiculous vinyl collection. So he would say to me, look, these are the tunes I'm not really going to mess with. So here's all those vinyls, take what you want, and then make your little set or whatever.
Select.
And then I would, so basically as time went on and I got a bit more confident in myself, I started making up my little set. And I knew I'd play these set of songs when people just started to come in. And play these songs and these songs, and when I know it's coming up to time for him to set off the thing, I'd have a certain set of records that they're peaking, but they're not gonna, when the kettle's boiling, but it's not.
They're not gonna shake. They're not gonna shake with what he's about to pop.
Right, and that's the role of a warm up DJ. Is you kind of set the tone. But you it's in the way of like you got the dancer in a nice vibe.
Yep.
And then whoever the headline DJ is, they come in and they just done the dance.
Yep.
So that's one of them. Another one was being an architect, but
really,
yeah, because I used to like drawing when I was growing up. If I sat in the TV, in front of the TV, I just draw all the time. I used to draw anything from like Simpsons to Ninja Turtles to. So I wanted to do that, but when I came back here, I realized there wasn't a course, an out and out course per se for it. So then I switched gears into doing like a media course, a media and radio production course.
Yes.
Shout out to my Lewisham College gang. So yeah, so obviously that worked out for me, or that was the right thing to do, because I'm sitting here with some, kings who are trying to, put
Create,
their imprint.
No.
I'm just saying kings. I don't want to limit us to just creatives.
Okay.
I said kings.
Yeah.
Who are trying to make an imprint in this industry. You know what I'm saying?
Truly.
So yeah, man. And then there's other dreams like Halle Berry, Rihanna, and them thing there. But that, I know that wasn't the question you was asking. So
But it's always good to know. It's always to find out those parts of that. And okay, so and even for yourself, G, like one thing that you always wanted to do. and you got to that, because that is now my reality.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I know you wanting to obviously to do the music thing, but was there ever anything else? I think there was. I will mention afterwards, but there was one that really was crazy for me. But yeah.
I mean, being now in my 40s,
yeah,
it's changed over periods. So when I was younger, I wanted to be an athlete. I used to want to be a basketball player.
Jeez.
But when I realized that
You can't jump.
when I realized that people were better than me,
yeah,
then I was like, okay, maybe this is not for me. And you know, I had asthma as well as a kid. So that hindered me a lot.
So did your wheezing, did that used to put off the other players, and then you just go by and just
Wheezy F,
put it down and give them the smack down?
So it just hindered my growth because I was always at the time, like, asthma wasn't something that you kind of see how they
Is that why they call it Reebok pump? Is that you just put the trainer in your mouth and you just,
So once I got to a space where my health was taking a toll on me, being a basketball player weren't going to work. Then I wanted to sing. So
life's not fair because your dreams make Drizzy laugh.
So in high school, I used to be a part of like a R&B crew, like a clique. Yeah, it's crazy.
What was the name?
So in high school, I can't remember.
What was the name?
But do you remember Lee Francis? Remember Lee Francis?
Name sounds
one of my close friends from back in the day. You might see, but if I show
Is he a DJ now?
No, he's actually into music management now. Actually, his dad was his dad is Winston Francis, who is a big reggae artist.
Yeah, the name sounds mad familiar.
Him in high school.
Yeah,
me and another guy, I can't remember his name. We used to sing
him.
What's his name? What's that song? The very first time.
Shy.
Right, Shy.
Shy.
And I was the only one in the group that could do high notes.
Dude, can you show us what you mean?
So yeah,
can you? My friend.
Yeah, that one.
I knew he was talking about that bit.
They recorded it one day, and I was at my brethren's house, and his mum was like, "Oh my God, you got a voice. You can do your thing,
Yeah, you can yelp."
So at that point, I was like, "Raw, maybe R&B."
Go
maybe R&B was the thing.
Yeah.
2 though.
Yeah.
Fear of a Black Planet. And the Wu-Tang Clan came out.
Yeah, and flipped it.
And I was like, okay,
this is better.
Nah, this is Then I just rapped, and it turned into wanting to be an artist and a rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But then then again, as I said, life changed. I got to a point where
I thought he was gonna walk off.
I got to a point where I really wanted to be a father.
Big.
And that was my aspiration. I'd moved through the music business, through the industry, and that no longer became fulfilling to me. I felt like a straight void and a gap.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I wanna be a dad. I wanna be able to. I wanted a son badly.
And
wanted a son.
Yeah, and he got exactly.
So it kind of So. You know, things changed. Well, you mentioned that you had something as well that you...
That was exactly that. So being a dad, wanting to be a dad again as well, that feeling, because obviously having my kids and that, I remember when Rihanna was born. And
shout out to Rihanna.
Shout out to Rih. And actually, like, holding her for the first time, even just seeing, like, that situation and all of that happening in front of my eyes, and then being able to hold her was just, I just was like mesmerized. And then obviously seeing her development, going from, this little cute baby, and then everything's daddy this, daddy that. Realizing that she looks like me more than I look like me. You get what I'm saying? And just the mannerisms and everything
She's
was
a spit.
and then having Cairo, and then that being the boy version was just
blessings.
Oh wow! Yeah. So both of them having different characteristics of mine. They, you know what I mean? It was just like mind blowing. But yeah, being a dad, like I said, that is.
It's safe to say. It's safe to say that we, at different points in our life, that we aspire to be different types of people. We aspire to be different people based on our environment or what we've seen or our our peer group. Our peer group has with men. Our peer group has a lot to do with who we want to be as well.
I think if we could even narrow it down to just as people, because obviously females have to look at that side of things as well.
Yeah.
Because I used to be like, you know, when you're walking down the high street and then you see mums with their little crew with the push chairs and all of that, and I'm thinking, does it stay like this? Do you stay with that clique of friends?
Yeah.
And then that's it for the rest of your lives?
Yeah.
So, the peers is a huge thing. But, just that. So I'm only talking about my weekend. We've gone into all of this. More than anything.
I mean, it's important. Again, I like to always catch up with the guys at the beginning of the podcast to see where everybody's at, how everybody's feeling. You know, it's great. It's great stuff. I mean, we've got a lot to talk about today. This is episode 6, by the way. We're on 6.
Wow.
Fast Food Podcast, episode 6. I think we just got to just, we got to talk about these things because we've had RIP DMX.
Oh, man.
If you listen to the last podcast, he was still currently alive at the time and was praying for his speedy recovery.
Man.
And sometimes, not hearing things is a good thing. So it was like, okay, we know he's still alive. So if we don't hear anything, then we know he's still alive.
Yeah.
And I was holding on to that. Do you know what I mean? And obviously we know DMX has been through a lot throughout his life and actually come out the other side. So the fact that unfortunately he's passed away, yeah, man.
Even saying it, it still has that feeling. It takes you back to when you first. Do you know where you were when you first heard that he had passed?
Yeah, I was at home, and again, it happened. It was like what happened the first time because remember we mentioned as well that when he was in hospital, people were saying that he died.
Oh, that was badly irritating. Do you know that?
Putting out bad energy. I was like, okay, cool. So before because what a lot of people do, they hear someone's died and they just flick it out there, and that creates a lot of bullshit. That creates a trend.
Yeah,
that is true or false. So again, I looked into it, and a lot of the outlets were saying no. He's not. So I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, man, I just got a message. He's passed away. Looked into it,
and it was true.
He's passed away, and I was just like, my gosh, and it feels like the Nipsey situation where. For me, it felt like the Nipsey situation because he was such a big artist and because he resonated with so much people and made such a big impact. It's like it just didn't feel like he had gone. But I'm just pulling up tunes in the house. Listening to I'm watching videos of interviews, and I'm just like I just went down a rabbit hole of YouTube stuff and things I've already seen already. But because I was grieving, I was just wanted to be as close to him as possible in terms of what he put out. I'll give you a funny story. So as soon as I found out he had passed away, I went in the kitchen, made something to eat, put Slipping on. So I'm beating a tune, right? And my son Shia runs into the room and he goes to me, "Dad, could you turn it down, please? Can you turn it down?" I said, "Oh, where did I said I barked at him.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's the dog.
Yeah.
It's the dog, because it's the dog.
Yeah.
I barked at him. I said, if you don't go back in the room and mind your own business when your dad playing music.
Mind your own data.
Playing music in the house. And he started crying. I said, Then when he started crying, that made me listen. Go in your room now, because now you're setting me off. Go in the room. I'm listening to Slip In. I'm like, oh my God, this is just terrible. Then I've turned the music down and I've called Shia back in.
Yeah.
And I said to Shia, son, I didn't mean to get angry with you, but this artist, he passed away. Yeah. And then Shia went, really, Daddy? And I was like, he's an artist that I grew up listening to. Yeah. He's called DMX. Yeah. These are the tunes that he made. And he got it instantly. He got it. He goes, Dad, it was just that I was listening to my music and I couldn't hear mine over yours. I said, okay, son, that's cool. But know who pays the bills here. And that when I play music in the house, I'll play it as loud as I need to. And we had a great day after that.
To summarize, you got to relax.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it just took me back, man. And it's just sad. It is really sad. But yeah, RIP. How do you feel about it, man? Now he's passed away.
It's crazy because I had a near-death experience whilst listening to DMX.
Really?
Yeah. So came back from Bournemouth. We went to Bournemouth. Rihanna, funnily enough, had just been born not too long. And we went to Bournemouth. Me and a couple of friends went to Bournemouth.
Oh, this is before?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, yeah. So,
yeah.
And what's happened is, as we're playing pool and all of that, and I'm meant to be remembering something, and I can't remember what I'm meant to be doing. But what I'm meant to be doing, because Rihanna's mum is going work in the morning, and I am 100
sticking out.
Okay, yeah, I'm 100 and something miles away.
Yeah.
From where she is,
right,
and where I need to be,
right.
And I check it, and I'm like, oh shoot, I need to fly back now. So I'm like, okay, jump in the whip, and I ring. And make my way in the car with the man them back to London. So this is about 6 o'clock in the morning. I got to get back. I got to get back for, I think it was 7 or 8. And get back to driving. And I'm like, you lot, please, stay awake.
Yes, I remember.
The man, yeah, cool. Put on his first album.
Yeah.
Turned that up, jetting down the motorway. Like, cool. I said, everything seems good. Everyone's talking. All right, cool. Let's go. Do that now. As all of a sudden, I'm starting to. I'm like, no, we can't have anywhere.
At least the passenger has to stay awake.
Someone has to stay awake and help me right out. And otherwise, I'm not making it anyway. We get about maybe 30 miles into the journey, going past Winchester. I think I'm about, I notice again, man, I'm asleep and I'm like, come on, can you wake up?
Yeah.
I wind down all the windows. I turn DMX up, full blast, and it was, the speakers was loud. Anyway, so tearing, it says 1 mile to the services. I thought, because what it was the week before, because obviously we used to go everywhere and anywhere. Of course. And the last time I pulled over because I was tired, last time I pulled over in the hard shoulder and I went to sleep and I woke up to a police officer on the window, move now. Really? So I was like, okay, I probably should move. Yeah. So this time I'm like, right, I've got 1 mile to the services. I'm going to be all right. But these lot are tearing some Z's on me. And I'm starting to feel it, and my head's starting to get heavy. And I felt, and all of a sudden I just felt, boom, I felt my neck drop. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit. Put my head back up. Car starts swerving to the left, swerving to the right, swerving to the left. The car's out of control. The car spins backwards on the motorway. So we're going backwards. And then the car just flips. Bam, ba-dam, 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 ba-dam. It's me. I'm screaming. I'm screaming. I'm trying to sing like, when you do your R&B thing. So I'm holding the because every time we're landing on the roof. So I'm putting my hands and I'm pushing so that as long as the roof does not touch my head. And then on the
Crush
last
you.
one, and crush my ass. So on the last topple, my head licks the ting in it, hits the roof. Car stops, look around. What's going on, bro? Everything's all sparkly and white.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. Am I dead?
Yeah, because it's all still.
Dead?
Is that you?
Sanka, you dead?
Sanka,
I'm
you
like, Sanka. I look now. I look over. I'm like, D. D looks at me now. I'm like, bruv. He's like, yeah. I'm like, get out. He's like, cool. We tried to get out. We realized the roof is where the doors are.
Oh my God.
We have to kick the doors.
Oh my gosh.
I'm thinking, shit, when you get out, are we on the road? Where are we? Are we
Oh my-
actually on the
This
motorway?
is a nightmare.
DMX is still playing.
Of course.
Get out now. We are perfectly positioned in the hard shoulder. Forward.
Because you know what could have got peak? You could have toppled and then another
Bad
car
out.
could have just a van,
Lorry.
lorry.
So we get out now. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, where's Smiley? Looking for Smiley. Go look in the back of the car. No Smiley. He's at the top. He's about 30 yards away, 40 yards.
Bruv, he's on the road.
He's come out, hit the central reservation. He's hit the central reservation.
That's not.
Bro, I find it. I
Cray.
find this mad.
Mad. He's on the floor. He's on the floor now.
Jesus.
And I've ducked
Just because
over
his name
to
was
him.
Smiley, bruv.
No.
Yeah, it must
I'm just
do.
taking it all in like,
It's so
rah,
crazy,
man
bro.
really went from, I need to get back to see my, was it
Yeah,
your
to my daughter. Yeah.
to let me pump some tunes on, so let me open up the windows,
So-
to we're 1 mile away from the service station,
1
to
mile
a
to-
man
yeah,
is
never made it.
outside.
Even this is the maddest thing. Where it stopped is the entrance to the central not to the central. This is the entrance to the services.
Raw.
It was at the foot of the services anyway. So he's on the floor, face lacerate, all of that, mash up, everything. Man's like he stops breathing and everything. I'm trying to do CPR. I'm trying to do all
That's
sorts, trying to pump on his chest,
crazy.
doing all of that. I'm like, don't die. I'm like lashing him in his face. Bow, bow. And I'm like, I'm not going. I can't let him die. In the back of my mind, I'm not going to jail.
What time of the night is this?
Morning.
This is now morning. This is in the morning. All of a sudden, whilst he starts breathing, like all blood come because he stopped breathing, blood starts spurting everywhere and all of that. He now it's like he's trying to grab at me. He's trying to grab at me and stuff.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like I start thinking, oh shit, I still need to keep him breathing. I start pumping on the chest again. All of a sudden, some I didn't realize. All of a sudden, I felt one lash. I was like, what the hell is that? I go flying. This guy said, I'm a medic. He said, stop pumping. You're going to make him go into shot. You kick me off him.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, raw. Oh, this is crazy. Anyway,
They got there quick then.
no, it was someone on the other side of the road. He wasn't even
Like a
medicked
off-duty
up.
guy,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and so
Jesus.
done that now real quick. All of a sudden, I've sat down on the central reservation because that's what he's hit. We're right next to it.
Yeah.
And I've looked over and I saw the car. And I looked at the car and I just thought to myself, wow, look at that. How did we
That's crazy.
get out of that?
Yeah. How do you make it? You
And,
definitely have to have someone looking down at you.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But that's the thing. Because the car was the last thing my mum bought for me before she died. So that was just like, I was like, and I was just like, oh, shit. But yeah, that was pretty much, but yeah, we went hospital. No, what happened real quick, Downs looked at me, I've looked at him, I goes, rah, look at your head, blood. He goes, what are you talking about? Look at your head. I went to touch my head, and where I touched was nowhere near my head. Where I touched was it felt like it was a meter away.
You had a cocoa.
I had a bobo. It felt wrong. And I was just like,
Ebo.
yeah, it was bad.
Jeez.
Got to the hospital. I still got glass in the thing. The way they
Concussion.
treated us was horrible.
Really?
Yeah, they treated us shit. And I mean, and then Stas and Merv. No. Emerson, Mervin's older brother, come and picked us up, and then we flew back to London, and I couldn't believe it. I was just like,
That's
wow.
mad.
But yeah, that was the story, bro.
That's it, bro.
I should have been with the daisies.
Should have been with the Lord. But yeah, that's
my
crazy.
story.
Where were you, Drizzy, when you got the news?
Well, thankfully, alive and well and kicking, because that's some next.
Yeah, man.
That's
getting in the biopic.
That's going in the biopic for sure.
I was on my way back from breaking my Costco virginity because I finally made it to Costco, and I was all like caught up because there was other news that broke out before that, but I didn't really care too much about that. No disrespect. The other
we know.
99 not out. Person.
Yeah.
But I was just like, whatever. No, I mean, I was respectful about it when it broke because I was listening to the radio,
still alive,
and it just kicked in. Oh, breaking news, and I was like, okay. And I was like, oh man, well, you know,
talk about Prince Philip.
But this one is the one I was like, what?
Yeah. Proper Prince.
And then why do you say? Why wasn't you shocked about Prince Phillips? Is it because of his age, or you just knew he was on his way out?
It's because of his age, and then there's been pictures of him in the last couple of months or so where you look at him and you're like,
yeah, he's a walking dead.
You like a mannequin.
Yeah.
That just gets moved around for appearances, but I don't know if you've already left us and they're just not saying that.
And he's been in the hospital for a really long time.
He's had a lot of health implications. So, but he just looked like life was drained out of him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
His
there was
physical
no
appearance.
Zombie.
light in the eyes.
He's 100 years old.
99, but yeah. Close. That's still.
Yeah.
21 to 21.
So yes, but it's just the DMX one hit more because again, there's been a time in our life we're all hip hop babies. We're all hip babies to the culture and the music, which is rap. There's been moments in our life where a DMX song has been the song you've waited to hear in a nightclub.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's why it hit me a bit more, and I had to like, excuse me. And the sad thing is, he always prayed for us, right?
Non-stop.
And our prayers just couldn't get him that extension of life to like try and turn it around. So shout out to Earl, man.
I saw Dragon.
He's having a moment.
Have a moment, and when he was in bits, and he was just obviously saluting him and said DMX gave him his first shot in the game.
Many.
And he just, he was beside himself. He didn't want to accept his death,
of course, which is
normal. Again, when you've got someone so close to you pass away, it was interesting as well that Lewis Hamilton got a lot of flack because at the corner of my ear, not the corner of my eye, at the corner of my ear, I heard a
from the original
somewhere from South London's finest,
the gully side,
from South London's only the only ones there.
Yeah.
Now I feel you.
How sad is that?
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton basically obviously put out a statement saying rest in peace DMX, blah, blah, blah. And he got criticised on social media because he didn't say the same for Prince Philip.
Yeah.
Why?
Because, okay, so the thing is, I found it shocking that Lewis got so much pushback from the Caucasian population.
Yep.
It was weird because obviously, because we live in a country that has not an ounce of institutional racism in it, I just find it weird that he had people in his comment section like, "Oh, you was given an MBE."
Yep.
So your first point of call should have been to say pay your respects to Prince Philip.
Yep.
Oh, you should have that taken back. You know what? I saw one comment. You know what? My son looks up to you. You know what? That's going to change now because I'm going to show him who you really are. Who really is Lewis Hamilton?
Yeah.
DMX obviously touched a nerve and stroke.
Had far more influence
on him than someone you barely see unless they're doing their public appearances.
Fake outrage, bro. Fake outrage. There's nothing in it other than somebody who felt like paying homage to somebody he felt like he was closer to in terms of, culture.
Yeah, but maybe
Credence.
maybe Lewis Hamilton owes something to the British public.
Which is
Maybe he actually owes them something. Hence the reason why people feel that they have privilege to
because of his MBE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We support you. We do this. We do that. So you should feel the way that we feel.
But what? Support him doing what? Support him how?
Well, at the end of the day, Prince Philip is a huge figure.
Not him, Lewis Hamilton.
I understand.
Just as a side note, Lewis did actually do a post for Prince Philip.
He did.
Okay.
After. See. Okay.
So there we go. So I'm thinking
his whole Instagram page have 100 posts about Prince Philip.
That's interesting.
What if he never met Prince Philip, but he met DMX?
Yeah. But then from what Joe's just mentioned, there's not even a conversation to be had now.
True.
Because basically
he done his bits.
But he was saluted both.
Yeah.
So we're keeping it moving. We're going to keep it moving, but I'm just going to do this because it's important. As we salute DMX, we've got to play the first song I heard from him.
The Fast Food Podcast.
Due to YouTube copywriting laws, unfortunately, some of the music played on the Fast Food Podcast is unavailable to listen to. You can listen to full episodes via DSPs such as Soundcloud, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Podcasts.
His music's going to live on forever, basically. So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Due to YouTube copywriting laws, unfortunately, some of the music played on the Fast Food Podcast is unavailable to listen to. You can listen to full episodes via DSPs such as SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Podcasts.
Right. And we've got to keep it moving. R.I.P. Black Rob. We played the record at the top of the show. Died of kidney failure. He's had a lot of complications, and obviously I saw a video maybe a week or two ago of him paying homage to DMX. Obviously,
in his hospital bed.
In his hospital bed, lost a lot of weight. Yeah. My thing is this is, I don't want to direct this at anyone in particular because I feel like the obvious questions are going to be asked.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, rappers need some sort of fund or some sort of pension after they've created music like Black Rob has, that at least for his medical care or for complications that happen in their lives, they can have, some help financially. Because it's like, I'm watching Whoa, that video looked expensive as shit.
Yeah.
And again, Whoa came out. It was almost similar to Oh Boy. It was one of those records where
just took over,
it was just a mosh pit record. It was a record that, it came
Anthem.
on. Yeah, Anthem. And killed the game. And it's just sad that he's passed away. And it just seemed like, I don't know his circumstances personally, but it just seems like, where was
Go and say it. Where's
the help? Where's the fight? Where was the help
system.
support financially?
Because he must have known that. Even friends in the game, he must have known how many other rappers.
Yeah.
Don't you? I know if you or Driz was in a situation, and I'm financially sound, I'm gonna pay for your. I'm gonna be paying for your hospital fees.
Yeah, support.
I'm not gonna be like, well, I might speak about it after you pass. I might deal with your catalog.
Yeah.
Give it to your kids.
Yeah.
I might do that.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna pay for your hospital fees.
But you know what though? We know as black folks, like one of the things we've always grown up on is you shouldn't ask people for nothing. If you have it, you have it. If you don't have it, learn how to do without it. Yeah. Maybe it's a pride thing for him, being a strong, proud man, he was just like, well, I want help, but I don't want to ask because it might come across as a sign of weakness, which shouldn't be the case. When it comes to your health, like, you got to ask for help, man. Whether it's mentally or physically, you got to ask for help, man. So, yeah, it's a shame, and it just feels like, because Noriega has been petitioning for this for many years now.
Yeah, I've heard
we
about that.
need a hip-hop union.
Yeah.
So whoever created it, was it Kool Herc?
Yeah.
From Kool Herc up until, God bless the dead, DMX or Black Rob. There's that annual fund going.
a pot.
Yeah, but I was speaking to Joe about this earlier. We were talking.
You spoke to Joe?
Yeah.
You spoke? Okay.
I dipped into our weekly talk deposit. What's that? Kombucha? Ginger?
This is actually good.
Ginger?
It's called Char Tea Black. Black tea with lemon, organic grown, and real brewed. And it tastes real rude. Come on! And it looks like no other drink that you've ever seen in your life. I don't know.
Is that from the machine?
Is that from the machine again?
Yeah, I went to the machine again, and
That's the one with the little BT at the front, is that right? It hasn't got too much writing on it. It's very yeah. That one looks good, man.
And it's so good that I can't read the words. Yeah, I'm impressed by that. I like that, but it just tastes fresh. It's nice on the palate.
We need. Right. I don't know if it's like, let's say, all rappers in the game.
Yep.
All rappers in the game that are hitting a certain. They have a certain net worth.
Yeah.
Right. Let's say your net worth is minimum person's net worth is, say, I don't know, 8 mil. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's say it might be too high, but let's just point of reference.
Yep.
There should be a thing set up where maybe 1% of your annual goes into that fund, but it has to be someone who's not in the game, who's overlooking the finances. I think someone who loves hip hop.
Record labels.
Huh?
What if you don't have a label?
True.
Do you know what I mean? But I think someone should oversee who's not in the hip hop game but has a love for hip hop, so they have no ulterior motives. And when someone reaches out, someone represents them and says, "Hey, Morgs needs urgent surgery for his vocal cords because he wants to relive and try and become a singer." They will say, "Hey,
I think you might still try."
Hey. They'll quote it and say, "Hey, we need X amount."
Yep.
They can just go into the account and get that to cover their hospital fees. Do you know what I mean? And it should be for housing as well, because you don't want someone to, like, apparently.
Yeah, they should
Rob
not be homeless.
No rapper who's contributed to the game,
homeless?
and he was apparently he was between home.
I mean, I just don't know enough information on.
Yeah, he was
That's why I
homeless.
don't.
He
wanna,
said it.
That's why I want to be too. I don't want to be too presumptuous on his about of his
Someone's
life
past
and
is that,
stuff.
yeah, but yeah,
I
he
just
said that.
it's just based on what I've seen, and obviously we know the music business is a lot. There's a lot of facade.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
For sure.
gloss around artists, where artists look like they're making money and they're not making anything.
Yeah.
But I just feel like his contribution to hip hop deserves to deserve some sort of compensation. And you're just dying
Agreed.
like that. It's
not cool,
unbelievable. But we say R.I.P. Black Rob.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, it's so sad for that. And blessings to his family. I hope
Friends, yeah, man.
There wasn't much. There wasn't much say about his family as opposed to like DMX.
Yeah.
Didn't really see much of that going on. We just saw pretty much that he was in hospital and going through it.
You are now listening to the Fast Food Podcast.
I want to talk about the fact that the last episode, which was incredibly hilarious,
Yeah.
I had a good time.
Drizzy walked off set.
Twice?
It's a couple times,
I think about 3 or 4.
Yeah, it was wild, that episode.
Yeah, it was a wild episode. But, I had Trim in bits.
Yeah.
Usually, if those who listen to the podcast regularly, Trim is the one that usually sets the tone and is the architect of mayhem and laughter and fun on the show. It just, I don't know what took over me that day, but Yeah, I said some outlandish stuff.
Very.
Not even alcoholically infused. There was no influence.
It was organic.
That was just my mood.
Yeah.
I think I said it. I mentioned it. I just felt in that mood to just light up the place.
Like someone tugged your tail.
I just felt.
You know
I just felt like, yeah, like.
But the irony was, before we hit record, I said, you know what though? You know, there's every chance this could be one of the funniest.
Yeah, you did.
Pods, right?
Yeah,
but I wasn't prepared
for that,
for the shenanigans.
No, it was crazy.
Jesus.
Crazy. But we did have to get serious for a moment. And when we did, it posed for a very interesting conversation. So based on that, and based on a couple of our supporters and listeners actually were very, very intrigued about our opinions on the conversation. They said, look, why don't you finish it? So, I mean, is there anything you want to touch on, pause, with regards to what we spoke about? I believe it set off because we were talking about institutional racism. We were talking about the fact that there was a report that went out.
Yeah.
The report stated that there's not such thing
as institutionalized
They've
racism.
done all of the research and it doesn't exist and this is modern Britain and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And we got to a point where we did digress, but we didn't digress. It was only because we ran out of time and I needed to fit in some more things. I had to kind of keep it moving. But today, we can just, we could chop it up. I mean, how do you feel? How do you feel? Did you listen? Did you listen back to that actually? First of all,
yeah, I did.
Yeah, how did you feel about it?
I felt like it was my responsibility to really try to look at how everybody, all parties, felt about institutionalized racism, because I don't think the point was clear. I don't think that we got enough of it. And I think that the fact that we do have the space to be able to do that now that allows me to not jump on my horse or whatever, and just listen. I think it's important for me to listen, to shut up, and then and chop. Yeah.
I mean, Trim, and Drizzy, there was a point in the conversation where you both were going back and forth. Both of you going back and forth, making points on opportunities. And opportunities that are given, not given.
Yeah.
Owed to us, not owed.
Yeah.
You made points about it not being about being given opportunities and taking them.
Facts.
Drizzy made points that it's not even about taking opportunities, but it's being allowed to have opportunities.
Yeah.
So I feel like the conversation, you both were making very valid points.
Yeah.
And I could hear where you both were coming from. But at the same time, what I was trying to say was, I was coming from a place of being equal. The fact that we are not equal. We have no equal standing. Where in the society that we live in right now, we're still treated as below the bar. And that's where the institutional racism comes from, because the system that's set up here in Britain and other places, but we're just talking about here because we live here, is set up that we will get what we get, the crumbs, and we'll put all the other people, the elites, the whites, the people who obviously who built the country up to what it is, even though we help them, have the lion's share of all the resources and opportunities.
Okay, so can I ask, with that being said, do they not deserve the lion's share?
No.
Whose country is it?
Everyone.
That's a good question. Whose country is it?
I want to know what our views are on whose country is it.
I think they think. Well, no, not even think. I know.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
That they think that this country is theirs. But when you check where English people come from anyway, they don't come from here. Where a lot of English people come from is Europe, and they've settled here.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a lot of people that's from Sweden, there's a lot of people from Denmark that settled here at one point. There's a few different people who've settled in this country and then moved on and different periods of time. So when we talk about that, when my thing is it's like me and you, Trim.
Yep.
We come together, we make a pact, and we say, look, I say to you, Trim, I need your help. I'm coming to you because I need your help to build this. And the reason why I need your help is because you have the power. You have the
man force.
You have the force. You have the means to help me build this situation.
Yeah.
And in turn, I'm going to give you equal opportunity on this land, and I'm going to make sure that your people are looked after going forward. And so we've shaken hands or signed contracts or whatever they did at that particular time.
Yeah.
But what's happened in going forward is that hasn't been upheld, and which is what leads to the institution of let's call it let's call Great Britain an organization.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's forget that institute. That's basically what it is. An organization that is set up to run. There's an organization set up to control a certain demographic of people, and whoever comes into that abides by that. But again, when you look at how black people help build the roads, how black people help build the industry, train lines, railways, they help build the country. It's almost like a slap in the face when you go, no dogs, no blacks, no Irish. When you go, no, there's no real institution of racism. It's just what black people are dwelling on too much. They're just holding on to slavery. They're holding on to, how they feel, and they're not moving on from it. And I feel like that's a cop-out. I don't know how you feel.
I don't think it's a cop-out. I think that everybody deserves, to be heard. I think that everybody also, there's a reason why they feel the way that they do. It's unfortunate that we are in a position where we aren't treated equal. I believe that we're not treated equal. I'm not dismissing the fact that we're not being treated equal. But what I am saying is we're in control of what the decisions we make. There are people that aren't as strong as others who are on it like that, like are willing, they have the desire to push themselves. And unfortunately, the fact that you don't have the opportunity to do that, you then have to lean on the government, lean on whoever the powers that be are. I don't choose to sit in that mold. And that's the reason why I feel so passionate about being there and being happy to support others that want to get on that platform. But there are others that are willing to do exactly the same and are in better positions than myself. And they're the people that I go to. So I call it leverage. Right. People that want to complain about it, I think that complaining is not gonna change the situation.
Is that the point you was making? Sorry, I don't want to make you lose your point.
No, I've got it anyway.
Is that the point you were trying to make it in the last episode? Because when you mentioned that we're going around, remember, you mentioned we're going around in circles.
Yeah.
But then we went to I did try to move away from it, and then you wanted to bring it back
because I didn't know if we was going to revisit. But what I should have done was just took it on the chin anyway.
Yeah. So continue. The fact that you were saying that we're going around in circles isn't to do with you not wanting to.
I'm not being dismissive.
No.
I'm trying not to be. It may have come across like that the first time.
Yeah.
But again, now looking back and actually checking myself.
Yeah.
And speaking to, because this means a lot to me. It means a lot. Our culture means a lot to me. Drizzy's opinion, Joe's opinion, your opinion matters to me. And I don't want to come across as, oh, do you know what? Stop moaning. Don't this, don't that. You get what I'm saying? Get on with it. Because that is how it came across.
What I did get from the conversation, looking back, listening back as well, was when Drizzy was obviously talking about the opportunities.
Yeah.
What resonated with me and what you said was that we have to stop asking for handouts, which
100%.
which was not the point Drizzy was trying to make, but because you thought that's what he thought, it resonated with me because you were right that a lot of the time black people use not being in certain positions as an excuse to not strive when there is opportunities or there is ways and means of being able to build your own platforms, start your own business,
100%,
dig deeper into educating yourself enough to get yourself into a position where you don't have to have a boss. I feel like we even in the culture in America, they've been drilling that for a long time. But for me, people, I don't know if people are. How do I word it? It's very clear that we all need our own businesses. It's very clear that we all need our own means of making money, so that we ain't got to rely on anyone. But it's not always clear that on how to, and it's not always.
That's on purpose.
Yeah,
it's not clear because that's not what the agenda is. Yeah. We go to school to sit down in a row with the teacher, with someone. The teacher's there because the teacher's the person that is the controller. Yeah. They set the pace. They put instructions on the board. We look at. We give him. We then say what we think. This, that, and the third. That allows them to think. Okay, so they're falling in line with that.
Yeah.
But as far as opportunity, as far as the point I made about the government and stuff like that, I think that a lot of us, because it seemed like we do look for handouts and we do complain to the government, but the problem is that it's almost like we love the government so much, and we give them that
much credence.
Yeah. And that's a condition.
Yeah.
That's a mental condition because we've been conditioned so long.
Yes.
To because look at things like universal credit. Yeah. Break the word down.
It's an institution.
It's an institution. So if we're going to talk about things like that, don't be part of that institution if you don't want to feel institutionalized. If you don't want to have that feeling, do you?
I feel you.
Find out how.
I feel you.
Make it happen. There's ways and there's ways. Look at the people that are doing it.
Yeah.
And reach out.
And this is another thing that black people don't do enough of. And
this is not a black thing.
No, it's not. But
it's not a black thing.
It's not a black.
This is a
systemic thing.
Yeah, and
it's
also,
a system thing.
If you want to be part of it,
yeah. But what I'm saying to you,
you own it. You own that.
Why I mention black is because why I mention black people is because a lot of other races seem to know how to navigate around the system.
Why is that?
So, for example, let's just say Indian people, Asian people.
Yeah, why?
They come to this country.
Yeah.
They set up their own businesses, shops.
Yeah.
They educate themselves well enough. They leverage themselves so that, again, when shit hits the fan, they have enough resources of their own to not have to rely on the government. Jews, similar. And which is what I admire about different types of races. What I do admire about other races is that they have the ability to do it. But black people seem to always be in a position of, we don't have the opportunity. We're not getting the opportunities that's given to us, so we're just going to sit here. I'm not saying everybody. I'm not generalizing black people. I'm just saying even white people do it. Like white people do this. Some white people do this. They've come to take our jobs, but you don't want to do them jobs. So what are you moaning about? If you went and did them jobs, maybe you would earn money and you'd be in a better position. But because you're complaining about other people taking your jobs and you're just living on job seekers allowance, you're never going to go nowhere with that. So I guess
that's a syndrome.
So that's a syndrome.
That's a syndrome.
Yeah.
I think it's almost likened to Stockholm syndrome. You get me? Where you show that adoration to someone that's done stuff. Say, for instance, you've been taken hostage.
Yeah.
Which is similar to what happened. We almost got Well, not almost, but we got taken hostage.
Yeah.
And then we're in the bank being taken hostage.
Yep.
The captor's inside.
Yep.
The police come in, busting, hey, what's going on? Da, 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 da. Yep. And then we then have to give evidence to say da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. But we don't give evidence. We don't say anything. You get what I'm saying? Because of the adoration for the captor.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
So where we're going with it
is
pointless. It's what we need to do is we need to be able to put ourselves in a position where we're looking at seeking information to be able to strive forward.
Yeah.
Us complaining it for me is so back then.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
All these other we were the first.
I agree.
We were the first. The Asians came. The Polish, the Eastern Europeans came.
Somalians.
The Somalians came thereafter. And everybody done this thing where they knuckled down because where they came from, they didn't have privilege. Yeah. Where they came from, it was hard. They didn't have the NHS. They didn't have housing. Everything, if they had something, they had to buy it outright. Otherwise, it wasn't theirs. So that's why they knew how to come in and pattern everything. But then we're like, oh, please me. Oh, what about? Oh, the government. Da, 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 da.
There is a flip side, though, Trim, where where we, like Black Wall Street and the fact that there was time periods in Black history where we did have our own things, and them shits was taken away from us. Which is, I don't want to obviously deep dive into it because one, I don't know enough information, but I do know that
we can revisit.
I do know that there was points in time where we had a foothold on a system of our own.
Yeah.
But because obviously the fear of us,
fear of a black planet,
of us rising up is not. They don't like it. Do you know what I mean?
It's difficult because when we do it really well.
Very well.
That's the problem. Yeah. So with that being said, it's almost like we know what the system is. We know how to do it, but we just don't.
Yeah.
Or some, should I say, because some are doing it.
Yeah.
And it's getting better.
It is.
It's not getting worse. Some people are like, what's going on outside in the streets and stuff like that. Yeah, but what if we're doing our job, we're being good parents and doing what's needed to be done, and we're showing influence because a lot of our parents are still trying to sit on the dole.
Yeah. But this is my thing from the last episode. True, is I mentioned that you mentioned it, but what I reiterated was the fact that this platform we have, this podcast we have, is also a way of educating other people who don't know or are ignorant to it, to let them know that these things do exist. Do you know what I found? A lot of people, we say, "Oh, go Google it," but people don't.
No.
Go do this. Do your research. People don't because it don't pertain to them.
Yeah.
It's not. They're fine. We're all right. We're cool. And it looks like we complain a lot of the time. We're not actually complaining a lot of the time. We're just actually bringing up the subject, just highlighting it and saying, "What? Come on! Like, are you still trying to?" That's what I said in the last episode. If you're still trying to tell us that there isn't institutional racism, you're taking a piss because now you're just actually trying to sweep it under the rug. And you're undermining my intelligence. Because my intelligence tells me a lot of the time, or what I've been taught by my parents, is to look into things.
Yeah.
Don't just take things for gospel. Don't just go, okay, don't accept this.
Yeah, but ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
So there's the people that are writing these reports don't want to highlight it and don't want to be honest enough to say that is the case.
Yeah, it's true. Drizzy, you want to touch on it at all?
Bruh. No. I mean,
Rumbled in the jungle.
Cool. What's next?
I mean, it's I mean, like I said last time, there's not people of our color in positions to make decisions.
Yeah,
and that was my point. Like, we're only 57 years away from someone having a political campaign slogan saying, "If you're an N lover, vote Labour." That's only 57 years ago. 1948, Windrush. Yeah. They came and got us, right? We were happy where we were. Like 2 times you've come and got us from where we were. 2 times. The first time you did it aggressively, and the second time you did it because we're part of the Commonwealth group. And it's like, oh yeah, can you lot from the Commonwealth countries come and help us to rebuild the UK after the Second World War? Cool. But we're not getting a fair slice of what's on the table. Yeah. And even though we could scream, shout about it, you don't want to complain about it, cool. You want to do something about it, cool. Proactively do something about it, cool. But then when you do something about it, who's the first person to be in your face, breading you, to then try and do you over and take whatever it is that you've created and start making a bunch of money off of it, and you're sitting there like, well, hold a minute, what's happened to me? Do you know what I mean? It's just, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, Black History Month comes and goes, cool. But what's the long-term effect of Black History Month? Me personally, I feel like you should probably just get away, just remove it, because what's the long-term effects of this? We're yet to see someone of our generation or of our race go, you know what, yeah, I might try, let me have a swing at being Prime Minister.
Yeah.
I even thought about that. I was like, you know, I want to try and be Prime Minister Dominica. But 1, I probably can't do it because I don't live there full time. And 2, someone said to me, you know, with all the good intentions you would have going in, you know, if you do get the gig, somewhere through down the line, your morality will be challenged. Yeah. And it's like, do you do it for the goodness of your people, or do you say no to keep your morality in check, right? But we just need more representation. That's all. Yeah. And like Puffy said this, these companies are making so much money off the black dollar. We need to keep the black dollar within the black community. 1, that's what we need to do. We need to stop looking at each other as a threat and embrace each other as we're all fighting the same fight. We're all brothers and sisters in this thing, right? We need to just come together as one and disrupt the system. But all I'm saying is that I say that to say this. You can have all the best intentions in the world, but if you haven't been given at least some sort of guidance or some sort of assistance, you want to start a business, what do? You have to go apply for a loan. That's coming from the bank. Who owns the banks? Like, do you know what I mean? There's always that. You have to check them. All I'm saying is we just need more representation. We need more representation. We're not begging for nothing. Yeah. Just give us what we're entitled to. Yeah. Everyone's entitled to something.
Alone is like that a little bit, though, no?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You've got all the intentions.
Alone is please can I have?
Okay, but
based on my behavior.
How else?
I've been good. You get a loan. You've been alone. Well, you can be patient. You can take your time and do things. Again, you can do your research. I've said that maybe 3 or 4 times. You can do your research in how to create wealth.
Right, you can. But what if
you can say how you can try to you can even show people how to create wealth, and they'll go, oh, do you know what? No, I'd rather go back to my job that I complain about every day, all day. Irritating.
Okay.
And we're having a conversation about this.
Okay.
Point.
Okay.
Have you ever been spoken to someone? Has anybody ever spoken to you about different ways of you being able to create wealth?
Yeah.
Have you ever been?
Yeah.
Okay, so then where did the loan part come from? Did they say to get a loan?
How do you get a mortgage?
I'm not. Can you answer my question first?
Well, I was going to be interjected as per usual. My point was, you can either be patient and wait to amass that wealth, or you can realize I can afford right now to go and apply for a loan to fast track the process of what I'm trying to create. If you're trying to create a clothing label, or let's think bigger, you're trying to create a portfolio of houses, a property.
Yeah.
And you're like, I've got the money here. I've been saving what money I've been making from my streams of wealth. Yeah. I can go and apply outright and get the loan that I need to go and buy these properties that I want and fast track it, because I know I can do that within a 5-year plan as opposed to waiting 9-10 years. All I'm saying is you could choose what you want to do. Yeah. It's not either or.
I don't think
it's not either or.
I don't think it's wrong to try and get, if you're going to start a business, it's wrong to go get a loan. I don't think that. But I don't think it's also necessary to say right off the other side where you can do a job, a 9 to 5, and invest that money into something that you want to start.
100%.
And pump that into that, and then eventually move over. So again,
leverage.
You had a 9 to 5, and then your business that you're working on outside of it has got so popular or big or whatever that you've moved over. Like my wife, she pretty much done that. She worked a 9 to 5 most of her life, and she decided to be self-employed. Right. She had an idea. She trained herself.
Cool.
Or went to schools
Done
and got
research.
training, and basically moved over to where
the other side of the
now
quadrant.
she doesn't have to do. She doesn't have a boss.
Right.
So I mean, I listening to both of you, both ideas they're not wrong. What I feel is we need to stop doing is looking for excuses now. What we need to do is stop pointing out that we can't get this, we can't get that, and why?
Right.
Because there are now means, but
many. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with what you just said about
Yeah.
stop making excuses, you're right.
Yeah.
So you can either do. It's not either or.
Yeah.
It's you can either do it how Trim is saying.
Yeah.
You do your research, etc., and attack it from that way. Yeah. Or you can say, you know what, I have plans and aspirations.
I'm going to use the man to
do something. I'm going to go get myself a 9 to 5 per se.
Yeah.
To try and get the ball rolling, and then I'm going to, make certain cuts on my lifestyle, how I live my life, whatever, to make sure that I'm able to save a certain amount, and I'm giving myself an 18-month window, to get that, to accumulate this amount of money, and then I'm going to leave what I use to get me to this point after 18 months to then create what I want to create. Yeah. So you're not making an excuse. You're just saying, I'm not going to make the excuse of, oh, well, I wanna be like Joe and film, but I don't have the equipment. Get off your ass and do the job. There's a lot of people who are doing jobs they don't really want just to get the ball rolling.
You spitting because even when I was a recording artist, I used a lot of excuses to why I wasn't where I was and the position that I was in. And really, in hindsight, what I should have done was I should have worked. I should have got a job and used those funds to put back into what I was doing. But at the time, I felt privileged.
Yeah, but
I felt like I was in a position that, this is happening for me and this is the way, this is the only way, when it wasn't the only way. And again, to summarize,
you have to invest in yourself,
to summarize, look into, create ideas, whether you write them down, whether you do the research, go ask family members.
Write them down.
Go to speak to people in your community. Find somebody who inspires you. Listen to their story. Find ways of getting ideas to work on how you want to achieve your goal and to get to a place where you no longer are working for somebody and you are a boss.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
I've recently, shout out to my boy, Mr. Anderson, big up Jason. He put me up on a book called The Richest Man in Babylon.
Uh-huh.
And I'm only a few pages into it, but just following up on what you say is, they said something that really resonated with me is advice is free.
Yeah.
It just depends who you go to seek advice to. Mm-hmm. You can't go and seek advice from Trim, who's, say, well-versed in, say, management, yeah? You can't go to Trim and ask Trim about who's versed in management about how to cut pieces of cloth.
Yeah.
He may know about it, but that's not his forte. His forte is management. Mm-hmm. So if you want to know about management and Trim's your friend, you should be on Trim like a mosquito in regards to information. I need the information. So you just have to pick and choose and identify what you want to do and then identify where the information is free.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi is free. Yeah. You could just walk down the street, connect to Wi-Fi. As long as you got a phone, just use the resources you have. Don't use your phone just for social media stuff. Yeah. Use it to get this free information and just make sure you're getting the right information for what you're trying to do in life.
Absolutely.
And man, like, oh shit.
Yes.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, man, talk to me.
So I just wanted to know in terms of how would you go about advising people that, for example, say for someone for example, we don't have enough black doctors.
Mm-hmm.
but in general, black doctors are middle class, rest to tear. And then we've got the issues of how many black women are dying giving birth.
Yes, huge.
So how do you think we address or like even just in general, like how black people are treated in terms of healthcare and the policies in place? How do we address that the institutions, those sorts of institutions, where it's not a necessary, I build my own hospital kind of per se. Obviously, that's possible.
Yeah.
One day we'll get there.
Yeah.
But in terms of like those instances where it's not about I can just start my own business.
No.
I have to be in the system, unfortunately, because if I want to be a doctor or a nurse, this is in this country. This is how I have to do it.
Yeah.
Or just any sort of career where it's not you can't kind of go out on your own.
Yeah.
Not everyone can be entrepreneurs, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I would suggest that for most things, there's normally forums for exactly this, because there's people, the same way you've got this idea, there's other people that have their exact same thoughts. And for you to go in to see what forums, like you think about what it is that you want, you put that in whatever that is specifically and put forum next to it, I'm sure you'll be able to see a lot of places that online that you'll be able to connect with, adding people to those within those groups, then speaking to people and asking for mentorship. There's some people that just want to help, but we're like we feel like oh they're busy because they make 7 figures or whatever, so we feel like we shouldn't really ask. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But there's so many people that are like, do you know what? I'm so glad you asked me. This is the thing I thrive for. I'm looking for people that want to know, because I feel like I'm stuck because I'm the only person here. I'm up here and everybody's down there and no one wants to. I'm happy to put my hand down and reach up and pull you up. Yeah. So just ask.
What I mentorship
as
well, Joe. It's a good question.
Amazing
it's a
question.
Sick question. What I do notice, a lot of people just don't ask. A lot of the time, a lot of people don't. Seeking is a different thing. Asking is another thing. Yeah. Sometimes you can be too not embarrassed, but because obviously it's an idea that you're not sure on how to approach, you might not necessarily know who to ask, one, and then when you do know who to ask, it's asking because you might feel like it's a stretch. But I feel like what Trim said is interesting. I'm sure there are
so many
places where you can get the information. Once you gather the information, I'm guessing to be a doctor and all of that, that's qualification based as well. So you might have to be a person who takes that time out and goes back into re-educating yourself in a certain way, like being a nutritionist and studying food and diets and things like that. So yeah,
you may even, because of the question that you've asked, you may even speak to someone that's in the know and they go, oh, no, you don't even have to do that. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to get you to speak to blah, blah. They're going to say this, and you're going to say, oh, well, that sounds even better.
Yeah, man.
But that's because they're in that industry and they have the know-how. So if you want to know...
a lot of the things.
Yeah, and we don't... And in our minds, we create something and it makes us, because of the not wanting to look stupid or, not wanting to... be a burden or whatever.
Not everybody's out there like that. Not everybody.
Yeah, and we need to be more of us. Need to be actually that. That's the problem, that there's not enough, and that's why I'm glad that we're speaking about it on the show, because we could have 5 people that might have those exact thoughts, or even 20, or maybe every single person wants to ask something, but felt that they couldn't.
Yeah. I think this goes back to. I think the whole academic system needs a massive overhaul because, from when I was growing up, certain things, not like they purposely said to you, you can't do this, you can't do that, but it just felt like you had to be from a certain background to be able to have access to certain academic tools to then move forward. And I just think that they're teaching the wrong things at school, in my humble opinion. There's a lot of things they should be teaching, like financial education, in regards to even little things like, not the whole shebang, but even little things like, here's the 10 parts of the law you should know for when you become a young adult into an adult. Like this. You don't have to learn the whole. If you want to, that's fine. But here's the 10 important things: like know your rights, know that if someone was to like attack you and you were self-defense, this is what the whole thing in regards to like if you create something, how to copyright it so it's not taken away from you. Should you sign on the contract? Little things like that is what should have been offered in school. And because we're at that age where our brain is a sponge, it still is now, but at that age, we just click onto anything like a magnet to metal, right? I just think they need to just look at that whole system set up and just come fresh.
How can we ask, like in school, how can we expect in school to be given financial information? Yeah?
Yeah.
Please tell me how we can ask for financial information from a teacher.
Well, it could be in college.
Or in college.
Why not?
The reason why I'm thinking it's a bit strange is because if that was the case, why wouldn't the teacher be making more money and not be a teacher?
But they might have chosen, that might have been their path. Like you said previously, some people who get to a certain stage, they're willing to advise people and help people.
Yeah.
That might be their calling. They might be like, I'm good speaking in front of people.
If you're aspiring to be somebody who is if you're inspiring to be an entrepreneur or some sort of creative person or somebody who has a skill that acquires knowledge and needs that information to be successful, some teachers might only know a certain level of
It's only so far.
So, for example, why public schools and private schools are so different is because private schools teach you how to fill out application forms. Private schools teach you how to deal with assessments.
Yep.
I mean, when I started working for TFL and I started doing assessments, I was like, what the hell is this? This is some loophole thing. This is not just...
There's a way.
It's not just giving someone my CV, sitting in front of them and going, yeah, my name is Morgan and G and rare. This is like tests and and practical
handwriting and shit like that.
There's a way. Reporting.
There's a method.
Like this sort of thing. So again, this is to what Joe is saying as well. The system has to change as well, Joe. Like there's a lot of things that are created in where we live that is controlled by a system. So we're only going to know, if we stick to that system, we're only going to know certain things. Until you decide that you want to be no part of the system or you want to think outside of the system, will you be able to gain or acquire or seek or ask somebody who's outside of that system for help, guidance, mentorship, and progress?
You want to be... say for instance, you want to go into a certain industry. It's going to be very difficult to ask your teacher. You might be able to get entry. You might be able to get good entry from the advice that you get from your teacher. But can your teacher tell you how to become a millionaire? It's a question. Can your teacher?
No. But
you would have to speak to and get mentorship from millionaires,
right? But
or a teacher who has the experience of the line of work that you've been
pulled
in.
back,
right?
Gone back. But, because they're sitting on bits,
right? But what the financial freedom I was talking from is just little things like savings. And if you're getting pocket money, you should think about
not always
having
taught,
50.
That's not taught either.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. At that level, you could teach about how, like, having a bank account,
how to manage your finances.
But
you don't need a millionaire to know that.
That's not the school's responsibility.
That's
the parent.
I don't think that's what the school wanted to be responsible for.
No, it's regardless of whether they do or not. That should be your parents. Your parents should be telling you, like with when we used to be on the bus going to school. I used to give Cairo 20 pence here, 10 pence here. Pound, whatever, and I say, make sure you count your money. Know what you're doing with your money. Make sure what you do with your money. Make sure you know how much you've got.
Fortunate for your son, but what if you're a parent who ain't educated on that?
Depends what you want.
If you suppose you've got a parent that gambles,
suppose
you got a parent that is frivolous with their money, you're already screwed already through entry. So when you educate, that's what I'm saying. The two different. Yeah. That's why I went to private school and public school.
Yeah.
Two different education systems.
Yeah.
One will show you how to become. One will prepare you for the world. One prepares you just for life.
No, it doesn't.
Private school prepares you for life.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was gonna say
private school prepares you. This is the real things that you're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah.
Credit,
doesn't.
mortgages, how to read, how to read applications, how to understand the jargons, and that's why people become lawyers and things. Because it's again, where we have been taught, and I'm guessing, we have to pay someone to do certain things. So when we get a contract, it might be somebody we have to pay. But that person educated himself to know that already. So he doesn't need to pay somebody because he's already a lawyer. He's already an accountant. He's already however he acquired the information, or however he got that education, it was a different system and a different opportunity for him to acquire that. But for me, I know for me, you and Drizzy, and I'm just speaking out,
cool.
We were not educated in that. We weren't well versed in that thing. It's like like I became an artist. There was not one piece of creative writing was done when I was growing up, and I became somewhat of a successful artist because it was something that I dreamt about doing, and I asked and researched and
So why
put myself around the people in the industry to acquire the knowledge. You see what I'm saying?
So why did you say that there was no creative writing? Because what you did, I found extremely creative.
In high school, the only music we was taught was the recorder and the piano.
Which is fine. I'm not. But you wanted it that bad. You became creative.
Yeah, because Yes.
But you didn't get that from mum or dad, is it?
No.
So your mum can be a drunk. Your dad can be a gambler.
Yeah.
But you can still have the desire enough to want, because no matter what, when you go sleep and you wake up, within that period of time, you have a dream.
Yeah.
Or even if you're awake, you daydream. Yeah. And those are the things that push you towards.
But what you were saying was, your son was fortunate that his pops was astute with financial, just being able to show him how to save. Not everybody's pops is built like that. Not everybody's pops says to their son, put 20 pence away, put £5 away every month. So for me, my financial situation is horrible. It's my wife that actually is more educated financially, who kind of takes control of that and goes to me, babe, let's do this with that, let's do that. And that's why I'm in a better position, because I have a partner who's educated in knowing what to do with money per se. So it's like, again, my point is you're right, the parents need to be able to
they're the first protocol. They have the most responsibility out of everybody.
There's a system, there's a public school system that teaches you, that don't teach you how to live your life. Because I didn't go Germany. So all the German that I learned in high school didn't use it. I've never been France. So all of that didn't mean nothing when I'm telling me about French. Geography, cool. I got sat-navs. History, cool. But you didn't teach me about black history. You just taught me about your history. Where was the education? I guess maths and English, really. But other than
even that's basic.
Other than that, where was that? Okay, this is how you save money. This is how you grow credit. This is how you acquire a mortgage. Be on the electoral roll.
But you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that because you went public school. So that's the thing. So what we do is you strive.
There is a system.
Yeah, there is a system. You just don't have to be part of it.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it moving because we spoke a lot. I feel like pop culture, we're going to have to shorten it today just because time is running against us, and I really want to talk about another subject in particular. So let's quickly run through it. Method Man versus Redman, 420.
Yeah, so that'll be what, tonight?
Yep.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Why
Let's see if we can see them, huh?
Why on a Tuesday?
It's 420.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but they both smoke weed. That's what I'm saying. Let's hope we can see them because it might just be bare talking and just clouds on your screen.
Do it on a Saturday night when everybody's at home.
This is true.
You're not,
Aren't you going to be at home on Thursday? Where you going, mate?
on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, ain't you going to be at home on Tuesday night?
I've
where you
got
going?
work.
Champions League
I
night
can't-
Tuesday, no?
Huh?
Champions League night, no? You'll be watching that.
We're not in it no more.
It's rude.
Yeah, I know.
Set up.
I know
You got
it's-
set right
I know
up.
it's-
I don't know why you stumbled
No,
on
it's
that.
okay. It's okay because they're not in the Champions League either, so it doesn't matter.
What then?
It doesn't matter.
All right, yeah.
But if you're not in the Champions League, why have the conversation?
Yeah.
Right. Young Thug, Young Thug, Slime Language 2.
Yeah.
Out. Checked out a couple of joints. I haven't got through the whole thing, but it's really good. Good. Young Thug. Are you into Young Thug?
Do you know what?
Pause.
Yeah. Are you into Young Thugs?
That's a pause.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I with him,
Yeah.
I think he's good.
Yeah, he's sick.
I think he's good. On the Barter 6,
Yeah.
I really liked it. I really liked that album.
Yeah.
So when he came out, I haven't really checked anything else, but that album stood out to me.
Yeah, check out
Skepta's
this.
on that, right?
Skepta's on it, Drake,
Oh.
array of people. Yeah, man. So check that out. Idris Elba, TV detective Luthor isn't black enough.
What?
What's that
He's
all
not
about?
black enough.
What does that mean?
That his character's not black enough. On
Yeah.
Okay, again, what does that mean?
Well, basically,
What is black?
It's the flyest color in the world.
Okay, and yeah, facts, but
what does black mean? But what?
No. I was gonna say, isn't Idris Elba fly?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but they're saying his character
Isn't black enough.
isn't
Within
black
it.
enough. Yeah, so Luthor
Yeah.
in that show is not black enough because he's not portrayed to be seen eating from West Indian shops or has any black friends or goes to the black barber shop. That's what they said.
But I'm sure he's got a fade.
Yeah.
What trims he got? He's got trims.
Yeah.
And a hairline.
Yeah.
It's not.
Who said this?
Yeah, was it? Yeah. Come on.
Let me get
Let's
my-
go to the sauce. Let's go straight to the Encona hot pepper sauce.
Joe's shaking
Let's go
his
to the
head.
sauce. Yeah.
He's shaking his head.
Hold on. Where is she?
Like they want black people. Black people are not a homogenous group of people.
Hey,
Black people.
hey,
Whoa.
Listen,
wait.
Black people come from 80 countries, 90 dependencies. Like black people are the most diverse people in the world.
Thank you very much.
Not like you can't group us in one group. fam.
Yep.
Black people have so much different culture. We eat different foods. We like different music.
Yep.
There's so much to black people. You can't make all black people be. This is what it means to be black. We're not all the same.
Yep.
We've got our own Benetton. Does that make sense? Because we're black and there's so many different shades of us.
We're like the rainbow. The rainbow comes from us.
Yeah, we're like Skittles.
We're the rainbow. The rainbow comes from
Because
us.
we taste
Sauce,
good as well.
motherfucker,
The
sauce.
source
yeah.
the source is Miranda Wayland.
Oh,
Miranda Wayland from the she's from the BBC. She's from the BBC.
Big.
The BBC's diversity the BBC's diversity chief has claimed that Idris Elba's TV detective Luthor isn't black enough to be real because he doesn't have any black friends and doesn't eat any Caribbean food. Would you like to see a picture of Miranda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see.
It's beautiful. She looks like she
So it's crazy how it's coming from her to say that. Like, just let the guy live.
Yeah, let him live.
A lot of people love Luthor, the show. So let's just keep moving.
Yeah, let's keep and that's let's keep it.
I would have
moving.
liked to have seen a video of her saying that.
Congratulations to Alex Scott becoming first female host of BBC Sport. Beautiful woman. She's a beautiful.
Football focus.
Alex, yeah, man.
Good. Good.
There's a lot of people crying online. How are you gonna give it to a woman?
What?
Yeah.
How you gonna give it to a woman of black color? The role on the show to replace the guy who's doing it.
Yeah, fuck him.
Who's never played football in his life, huh?
Yeah, fuck him.
Imagine that. You were putting someone in position who played football to speak on a show about football.
About football.
But okay, anyway.
And
Prayers.
it's pleasant on the eye.
Prayers.
Yeah.
Prayers.
St. Vincent.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
If you don't know and you're living under a rock, the island of St. Vincent had to be evacuated due to the volcano eruption.
Yeah.
Ash and smoke. It went from day to night in seconds.
Yeah.
Fortunately, obviously, they had ship cruise liners come and pick up the population. Some people had to go to just other parts and stay with family members, but a lot of the population had to actually escape.
Supposedly, animals are dead. The water in the river is boiling hot.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But there are funds and different people taking action to help. I understand that there's something happening at Tudor Rose.
Okay.
Where you can go and help out. I think you're able to contact. I think there's a flyer for Martin J.
Right.
Who used to be a DJ on Choice.
FM. Yeah.
So if you possibly get in contact with him, to be able to either make contributions within not so much financial. Because I don't know if it's got to that, but maybe stock and also helping out. Maybe even if it was as little as an hour. To just be able to help with packing. A good friend of mine, Rebecca Clerkin. Shout out to Becky. She was on a live maybe 10 or 15 minutes before I even come to the show. And she also reached out and said, if anybody could be able to help and contact Martin J. That we can help them with the actual packing of putting stuff. I understand that they're using White Yardies company to do the
freighting.
The freighting company.
Right.
So if anyone wants to help, please
check out Martin J's
IG page and reach out and be able to do that. That would be much appreciated.
What's the volcano called? La Sofia. Bro, see if the world just decides to switch on us. Nothing's happening. All this millions and billions of money that people have, you're effed. If there's monsoon, tsunami, hurricane, eruption, rare, all of that shit that you're doing, that fly shit, dead, right? Last but not least, Netflix documentary. Well, who's documentary?
Your guy that you said you didn't care for a couple shows back, Mr. Kanye to the. Damn,
Kanye,
bruv.
You still feel that way?
I don't fuck about Kanye West, bro.
Wow.
Fuck about Kanye West.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen, this show is.
But
listen, I thought we the last show ended really serious. This whole show has been mad serious. But I'm here for it. Yeah. I'm here for it. Intermission period before we can keep it moving.
Balance.
Go something like this.
The Fast Food Podcast.
Due to YouTube copywriting laws, unfortunately, some of the music played in the Fast Food Podcast is unavailable to listen to. You can listen to full episodes via DSPs, such as Soundcloud, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Podcasts.
All right, we're going to keep it moving because I don't want to play this song for its entirety. One, they made enough money from it. I mean, TLC didn't themselves, but the record label did.
Shout out to the system.
And two, we've got things to do.
Things.
So obviously, women were.
I have to be honest with you. I've spoken to a few people to let them know that I was doing this interview. Some of them were women. Yeah, and boy, were they angry about it. Oh, yeah? Oh, they killed me. They kicked my ass. So...
Bro, just in time. Women. All right, no, fuck it. I'm just gonna put myself out there like this.
You're gonna down the hill.
I'm gonna put myself out there like this. Donnie is on point in such a way that even if he's lying, which I don't think he is, he's finessed my eardrums fully. He's fully finessed my eardrums because when his name was brought up, Kevin Samuels,
of course,
everybody was in an uproar. Oh, how could he say this thing? How could he be so harsh? Which is, for me, he is a little bit harsh sometimes. He can be. But what he says and the information he's putting out there is absolutely real. And I never looked at things like that the way he has. Sometimes I have, but in its entirety, very interesting. Long story short, Joe Budden just recently interviewed Kevin Samuels on his podcast. It's about an hour and a half. Did you see it?
Yes.
How do you feel?
How do I feel?
How do you feel about the interview?
I think Kevin Samuels is spot on. Yeah. I think everything he said was to the money. I think that he thinks about what he's saying. He's got the facts. He's got the stats. And anybody that feels that way, anybody that feels any different, I respect your opinion. But until someone can come with something to rebuttal each point, I'm with K.
Did you just call him K?
He's got a new name.
Not a brethren, you know.
Yeah, that's my guy.
I'm calling him
my
Kev.
guy. Yeah.
K's Kev to me now. He's not Kevin Samuels. He's Kev.
Kev.
He
like the brother in Coronation Street that fixes the cars.
What a lot of people do on the internet is they put up clips and the clips come out and it's about what we do, similar, just like outlandish things that are said or things that are perceived to be outlandish. Everybody jumps on it. It creates a narrative and no one looks at it in its context.
Because as human beings, we have this trait where we like to portray things that support our narrative. So, if you have an issue with men and them telling you what they believe is the hard truth, because we always get told, you lot don't talk enough, we can never work out what you're thinking. When they talk about it, if it's not fitting the narrative that you need the support on, you'll put that clip out there and have this guy look like the villain.
He said, he said modern day dating environment is not working and is falling apart. How do you feel about that?
Well, he Jesus Christ.
Modern day dating is I'm just glad I'm not even involved in modern day dating.
Can I just say?
I'm glad.
Sorry to interject, man. It's really important that I get this off just because of what you just said. Yeah. When I was listening,
a lot of the time I'm going to say he said.
Yeah, of course. But when I listened to that podcast, right, I straight away was like, man, I don't envy people. Like my grandmother has told me, like, you shouldn't be jealous of what someone's got because you don't know what they did to get it. And it might be something that doesn't fall in line with your morals and standards and all that. So I don't envy or jealous people of what they have. But while I was listening to this podcast, I was like, man, I need to shout to people like Morgan. I need to shout at people like Nav. I need to shout to my other brothers like Daniel, a.k.a. Hearts. I'm trying to think of people who I know that have got married. Shout out to my cousin Jonathan. Because I was listening to this podcast and I was like, these guys don't need to wear any bulletproof vests to walk through these times because they are kosher. They're good.
Yeah.
Nav, Morgs, Jonathan, Hearts, there's others I'm missing, and apologies. Yeah. These guys don't need any bulletproof vests. But I believe, Trim, I can speak to, you're not married, right?
No, not yet.
You in a situation?
I'm good, yeah.
Good, that's what I'm saying.
You want to get married, Trim?
100%.
Yeah. Us.
Joe, you want to get married?
Oh, he went there.
Okay.
Do you know what? He's got the pack. Okay. He's got the cards.
Get you drop a bomb on that when you're
yeah.
We need a bomb on that.
Sorry, I wasn't.
Joe, do you want to get married? These modern women.
Kaboom.
Bro, it's wild.
It's wild.
I can humbly sit here, all 6'5" of me, because I noticed there was a lot of height conversation in there, and I could say, my brother, you're an inspiration to me.
No,
because
I appreciate that.
You've got it. Nice.
No, I appreciate that. And to be fair, I can't sit here and say to you, I kind of knew what I was doing. I'm guessing this is just I'm in this situation because I've been taught to be in this situation. I didn't know how to navigate through the system. I didn't know what dating was at one point. I didn't even know how women felt at one point. I didn't even know how to be a man towards a woman at one point. I just knew that this is the life I've been given.
You're just a cutter.
It's a cutter.
Man,
Ooh, that was close.
That was close.
Oh man,
That was close.
Cutty ranks.
Cutty ranks. Yeah. I did know that my mum and dad were in a relationship for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I like that because that whole structure
Oh man, it's the best.
gave me stability and
Self-worth
balance.
and balance, yeah,
Get
girl.
me? So when he's talking about the fact that now society on a whole is starting to move away from the family, it's like this guy is really spitting. Like
Yeah. He's got mad bars.
He's got mad,
and not afraid to say what.
Unapologetic.
Unapologetic. 100%,
But he backs it up with the facts, though.
With
Like
facts.
the whole duty side of things, when he said like when our parents were growing up, there was a duty, like the women had this duty and the men had this duty.
Yeah.
And it just worked in harmonious times.
Yeah.
Whereas now, as Joe said,
Well, he said if your grandma knew that your granddad was
had a family across town.
yeah, you would not know until he was dead.
You wouldn't know
Out
until
of respect. He even and I like what you said about the respect thing because we've all been taught to respect our elders. And even
100%.
now at 40,
Yeah.
someone that's even 10 years older than me gets an automatic pass.
yeah.
Like a respect pass. It's like
Yep.
as long as obviously as long as they respect themselves, I respect them because it's like they're older than me. They've seen more than me. They've had more experiences, and I've only been taught to respect my elders. So it's like uncle who ain't my uncle or uncles.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah. Straight.
And when you see them, it's a hailing thing.
I went to someone's house and as I've come in, their son said, "Oh, hello, Adrian." Da, 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 da. And I was like, I had to say to them, you got to tell your kid that I'm not Adrian.
Yeah.
My name is not Adrian. My name is Uncle Age.
yeah, that's
like,
it.
there's no, because I can't have that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Kids calling their parents by their names and that.
Yeah. What do you like? And so I had to make that very clear.
Who said I can't have that?
No. No. That's not happening. I'm not from that.
Yeah, exactly.
So and I had to make it clear. Yeah. But also like even I was in a relationship where I actually witnessed not even a conversation, a disagreement between the female and her mother, and she was being mad disrespectful. And I had to intervene and because the kids were there, and I said uncomfortable. I was disgusted.
Yeah.
I said you cannot speak to your mum like that. I said there's no way, because if you do that, not only are they going to do that to you, but the kids are also going to do that to your mum. Exactly. You get what I'm saying? I could never be in that situation.
What young Kev said. What young Kev said was, women in their 20s
had to cut. That's cut. I'm keeping it Kev. That's the new part of the show. Keeping it Kev.
That's the name of the show.
That's the name of the show. Keeping it Kev.
That's the name of the show.
Yeah. It's not.
Loves Kev, boy.
Yeah.
What he said was the audacity of women that are young, much younger than him, talk to him any type of way, and that's what society has built.
It's acceptable.
Has deemed acceptable. Exactly.
It's acceptable
Like
for gal to think and come and chat to man.
And bro, and how in our culture, that is a saying. Don't chat to. Are you big man?
I'm a big man for you.
Are you mad?
I'm a big man for you.
You better hold your. You better know your role and know your place in this position.
Bro, but
I just said that at the big top of the show when my son told me to turn down DMX.
Yeah.
Are you dumb?
Turn down for what?
Say, turn down for what? It was like you're paying bills around here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's the password for the? Oh yeah, you don't know it because I run things.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Come on,
and the thing about it is, even the dynamics of a man and woman, my wife gets it. And I'm submissive to her as much as she is submissive to me.
Yeah.
But there's
That's
times where
Yeah.
I have to turn up on
He's
her.
lying.
Not in a no.
Sorry,
real talk. Like
I didn't even say that.
no, real talk.
He's
For
lying.
example, the missus called me from her brethren's yard. She put me on loudspeaker. Hey, Ray. My response to her was along the lines of,
You know what? I think right now, I know I love you, bro, but I think you just say, no, you're going to do what I say, and that's it.
No,
and then you walk off and drop the mic.
No, probably drops the kettle or something.
You can't tell me that you're submissive because you don't even fucking go shopping.
no.
He doesn't even go shopping.
No,
He's
like,
like, this is him. Oh,
The weekend was good because, we went to go shopping. I was thinking he didn't go shopping, bro.
there's certain things.
Go on, brother. Sorry.
That there's
I didn't
certain
mean
things
to do that
some
to you,
women
bro.
wouldn't have from me in a relationship because I'm just so on my manhood. Like I'm always sometimes.
Oi! Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. We hear you. We hear you.
how can you be serious and funny? How can you be serious and funny? I thought it was the end of the show. I thought the curtains closed. What the hell?
Did you see that footage when he said that bird looked like Emmitt Smith?
Yeah. Oh. Says you look like a linebacker. yeah.
Yeah. And she had nothing to say.
Because she's probably thinking, that's pretty
making
good.
Way too many demands for looking like a linebacker.
Yeah.
You are absolutely incredible, the audacity of yourself.
And linebackers are huge.
Massive people.
That's why they stand at the back of the line.
That's right.
There was that notion that women are killing the corporate space, and he actually said
That's a fact. That's a fact. Women, listen, in my industry, fire. Yeah. They are fire.
Yeah.
They are killing it. Absolutely killing it.
He said that that's not necessarily the truth.
No. They are killing it.
Right. He said that.
I said in mine.
Okay.
There's maybe another 100 and
He said his marketing.
Huh?
He said that was marketing.
Yeah, they market like a motherfucker too.
Yeah.
You know what stung me when he said, there's an advert for men.
Yeah.
Gillette is telling
men
men how to be better men.
Yeah.
I sat there and was like, you know what? I've been debating about cutting his beard. I might just have to leave it now because I don't like how he just dropped that whole Gillette. Because I looked at the Gillette razor I was listening to it while rotted. And he said about the whole Cosmopolitan thing.
Yes.
How that brand particularly provided this mirage of a lifestyle to the
They lied to the women. Lied to women so that they could sell products.
And now who's dealing with it?
Well, women with bare plastic in their mouth and all sorts.
Plastic in and butter, man.
Yeah, plastic everywhere.
Yeah,
so
that's another thing.
That's huge.
Natural or fake?
Natural.
What? Natural.
Natural or fake? Joe, natural or fake? Women.
Any.
Listen, I've been to countries where the natural women have looked better than the women that are fake. How can you be a fake and not look better than the natural?
Thank you.
And that's coming from the #1 South London sniper.
Yeah.
Know yourself.
Gang business.
Yeah.
He can catch you from. He can get you from around the corner.
But listen, what we all just said, what we just all said and agree on, isn't good. They don't like that.
They hate that.
They don't want to be natural. They saying what we're saying is being that. Kendrick Lamar in a song said he prefers
Give me
natural.
that cellulite,
He prefers
skid mark. I just re whatever it is, my whiplash. It came back. Oh, my neck. Has anyone got a cast? Yeah. Linebacker.
He said he prefers stretch marks.
Oh, stretch marks.
And he got killed online for it. Murked online.
I don't like stretch much, but they're all right. There's nothing wrong with them.
I like the tiger tattoos. That's what I call them. I like the tiger stripe tattoos, man. I like that. I do like them, man.
It happens.
Because majority of the time, when that shows on a woman is because she's grown, or she was at a weight she didn't like,
come back.
she slimmed down a little bit, or she's gone up a bit. I don't mind, man. Give me natural, bro.
I don't mind. What he said.
Told trying to sing.
What he said.
Right, well gone.
About the pandemic. When he said along the lines of...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and no one's there.
Look to their right.
All these women,
Ladies, I want ladies to get back to us on this. I want to know. Do y'all be feeling lonely?
Hey, we need to get Sister Cheryl in on the next episode. We need to make that happen.
Yeah,
we need to make that happen.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to make that happen. Because I feel like Cheryl will have a lot
of things to say.
Act of God.
Fam, when he dropped that bar, I had to sit down.
He ain't lying.
He took an act of God for women to sit down and look around and say, hold on, I've got no children,
nothing.
I've got no boyfriend, no husband.
Nothing.
What's going to happen?
I'm lonely.
He also mentioned about a society of humans.
Huh?
80% were always married. And again,
86, yeah.
86?
Yeah.
And then as soon as Choice, was it Choice?
FM. Oh, so what?
As soon as a woman was able to make a choice,
the
breakdown happened where they no longer wanted men; they wanted more of a benefit.
So you're right. It was 80%, but the 86 was for when they were making a big thing about us marrying outside of our race.
That's it.
But it's actually only 86. So only 14%.
Women are unhappy with the outcomes. Women are vocal about their women have no problem being vocal about the things they don't like. Men have learned not to say anything. You fucking right, dude.
Oh, we needed context. We needed a little bit more.
He's basically saying that in the current society, it's okay for women to voice what they like, what they don't like,
they always do,
etc. Right? But with us,
we can't say shit.
We can't say shit because there's a lot of ramifications.
We can't even ask how old they are.
Oh my God!
How can you ask a woman? How can you ask a woman her age?
But you want to know because you want to know.
Because you might be older than I thought. Or you might be young.
Yeah, you might be too young.
You might be too young. And what happens then?
That's a slippery slope there because R. Kelly might try and use that, what you just said.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So let's not go down that slope.
Survival.
No, it doesn't matter because R. Kelly's in jail.
What he said when he goes, when that
Bear Grylls thing.
The bit of Bear Grylls.
Yeah. And he put male and female on an island.
And they couldn't survive.
Because they weren't willing to come together as a unit and say, this person... Yeah.
No disrespect, women. I love you. But it's a fact that you can't lead each other. It's a fact that there's always a division within. Like,
they're gonna be.
Let him have it.
Yeah. True. I wasn't being smart.
Let's go on the bench.
Go on.
We're back on the
it's
bench.
a fact that they can't lead each other. As soon as there's something, a decision to be made, is peak tongue. That's why you need a man involved. I'm kind of like the way that Kevy's got put a battery in my back right now.
Pause. If it's a double, if that's like a D, because D's are quite.
He's dead. Okay, he's dead.
Yeah,
he's dead.
Yeah.
Man
said put a battery pack in his
go back
crack.
to what he said. He said all men ask is for a woman to be nice, cooperative, fit, and this is the bomb.
Yeah.
Childless.
Yeah.
He said childless.
Yeah.
I was like, Donnie. Who's Donnie? Who was Donnie that was like,
you can't say that.
You can't.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
We don't know them yet. Once they replace the previous two hosts, then I'll start to remember their names.
Matt Maul and Rory ain't coming back. Don't go on.
Oh wow.
They're not coming back.
All right, cool.
Okay. All right,
That was the wave to not talk about. I told him about it the other day. I said, wait.
Okay, from my perspective.
Man, take your glasses off.
Jeez, man. All right, let me just hold us the truth for some
Cool. Yeah, I'm here.
From my perspective, right, you know how we talked about your aspirations, your goals, your dreams, you've envisioned this for yourself, etc.
Yeah.
From my perspective, this is just me. I've always envisioned myself being with someone who, when she announces she's pregnant, it's a first time experience for the both of us.
Right.
So we're both panicking, stressing, all the emotions you're going through. We're both going through it at the same time because it's the first time either of us are going through this. So that's just me.
I've been there.
Right. So and again, that's why I told you, I gave you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for me, that's how I want to do it.
Yeah.
So when he said all men ask for, and when he was listing them off, I said, yep, cool. No, that's fair. That's fair. When he hit the childless one, it hit me like a good bit of fried plantain. It hit me hard. I was like, ooh, that's me. He's talking about me.
He's talking about me. Because what's happening is you can't be a certain age and expect a woman not to have a child anymore.
True.
But if your standards are of a level of what you want and bringing it back to traditional values, you would want to be with a woman who hasn't had...
That's childless. That is childless.
However...
Do you know what?
It's not off the table.
Sorry, go.
It's not off the table.
Yeah.
That I could get into a relationship with a woman who has got a kid or kids.
No.
Yeah, I've done that.
And then we have, for my first experience, is like your second or your third experience.
It's not off the table.
It's not off the table. No. But the way I've positioned myself, I've not put myself in that position where I have multiple children with different mothers and stuff.
Yeah.
Ideally, my vision board is one female who we then either we do it like the Beckhams or we do it like, you know what I mean? We have multiple kids or whatever if we can financially afford to do so.
Yeah.
But that's me. But I'm not saying it's off the table that I get with someone who has a child already and my first experience is their second experience. But ideally, I would like it
of course,
both to be our first experience. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And for it to be a virgin.
Ideally.
Now you're dropping. You're dropping.
No. Let him.
No, I'm done. I'm good. No. Because if they're virgins, it's hard to expand.
Listen, for those who haven't seen the interview, go and watch the interview. It's absolutely amazing.
Hold on, I think I got one more for you.
What you got?
I got one more for you. Where are we looking at? Okay. Right, I've got a 1 minute 49 and I've got a 1 minute 12 and I've got a 38-second one. Which one are we going for?
The longest.
That's what she said. All right, cool. Let's go.
Background is pretty much this. I spent most of my...
Oh, no. That's his background. So that was him giving a background of where he's come from to where he's now.
He's come a long way.
All right, we don't.
He's come a long way. Pause.
All right, let's go with this one instead. Sorry, I just remembered.
A woman's past or her story is used to mythologize. A man's past or his story is typically used to demonize. Black men past or his story is strictly used to villainize you. Yeah. So we can say women are doing this, women are doing that. Okay, then let's take that. Women are killing it. I accept your premise. They're killing it. They're entrepreneurs. They're business people. They're moving and shaking. City girls, summer, blah, blah. Why I wonder for you on some sort of psych med? Why is the weight of the typical woman up, and why are more women today the most free, the most liberated, the most educated, the more anything else, the least happy of any woman has ever existed?
Ooh.
And so on that note,
it's not our mic to drop.
It's on that note. Listen, if you haven't seen the interview, go watch it. It's online. It's everywhere. Joe Budden Podcast, Kevin Samuels. I want to thank everybody for coming out. You want to reconvene?
We will reconvene.
Right.
Yeah. With some female presence.
Yes. I want to thank you guys for attending today.
No, it's my humble pleasure to be amongst you kings, man.
Likewise.
I didn't make it, but I appreciate you.
No worries, brother. That's so good there.
Yeah, it's love.
Personal.
Joe, I want to thank you for making it once again. You didn't have to be here, but you represented. We're back in a couple of weeks.
2 weeks.
We're back in a couple of weeks.
Our birthday month, B.
Yeah, May.
We're like what, 8 days between?
20th. I'm 20th.
Yeah, I'm 28th. So we'll try. We'll try to sort something else. We'll try to sort something out. Huh?
Yeah, we definitely should.
Yeah.
We definitely should.
We should invite you.
And I feel like now that the doors are opening up, I feel like You lot should just be ready for invites and barbecues and things of that nature.
So we getting to the outhouse?
Yeah, we're going to the outhouse.
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
That's so cool.
Plus one's allowed, or do I have to come solo?
If it's a woman, then yeah.
This is not even a question.
There's a balance.
You gotta relax.
There's a balance.
Like, sausage fest at my house is not what I want.
Well, I don't eat pork.
No
bro.
schnitzels.
No schnitzels.
I want to do like dominoes, bot nights.
What
cleaning
nights?
house.
Monopoly nights.
What did he say?
Domino nights.
No, he
No,
said.
you thought pizza. No.
No. He said something else, and then something else nights.
Domino nights. I said Monopoly nights. Barbecues.
Yeah. You know what? When we go back, because I'm pretty sure he said butt nights. So I know exactly. So when we go back and we listen to it, and I'm sorry that what I said. I'm sorry. No, because I feel nervous now.
Okay.
Because the way that Joe looked at me.
You said butts.
Yo. Never know. Say me a record.
Joe's
Anyhow,
got the green bandana on. That's his representative. That's his clicky.
Season review of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Next time we record, the Falcon and Winter Soldier will be done.
Yes.
We do a season review.
We should do catch-ups.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
All
man,
right.
we've missed out a lot of things, but I feel like we got so in-depth today, which is good.
It's good.
It was a really good show.
Yeah.
We spoke about a lot of things. We did a lot of deep dives.
Matters.
So yeah, I'll commend that.
Actual matters.
Yeah.
We'll be back in a fortnight. Don't forget Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. We're also on YouTube. We're also on Google Podcasts. This is a Fast Food Podcast episode 6. We're going to sign out with a artist from Hamburg, Germany. Shout out to Ross, who's managing him. His name is Dace, and he's got a record that's called Roll the Dice. We're signing out on this. Peace.
You are now listening to the Fast Food Podcast.
Think about another failure. Kiss me on my toes. I'ma walk it down and save her just to keep her close.